He was the best player, but they didn't need him to win.
Let y'all tell it. And then let Derek
needed him to beat LeBron after LeBron beat them. But they already were successful without him.
Well, let Derek tell that Andre Iguodala was the Warriors' best player, so they needed to get Kevin Durant to LeBron. Let Derek tell it. He did say Iguodala was the best.
Have not gave me one viable reason why y'all take KD over.
He didn't say that.
Ruther, I need you to pull the clip up this week of when Derek Carter, quote unquote, said Draymond Green was a role player. He said he is a role player.
The podcast is off the rails. These are not current NBA takeaways.
I just want to know why they said they're taking KD.
Why would he not be a role player? You're a role player when you know how you determine somebody's a role player when you take away other players and they can't do anything.
No, not at all. What
makes a role
without
player?
Steph and Clay last year? What did he do?
What makes
he
a role player?
As well.
What's your definition of a role player? Then let's hear it.
Bro, who they have on their team?
That's what a role player is. That's what makes you a role player. If you can't play without superstars, you're a role player.
Hey, hold on. We need to recalibrate. Hold on. I had to meet everybody. Hold on. All right, we stumble upon a good conversation. Let's define a role player. What is a role player in today's NBA? I'll start. Fabe. Okay, we're gonna go Fabe, then cut. Fabe, take it away.
A role player is a player you bring in certain situations and certain lineups to play a role on a scheme that you have. Draymond is a starter and a star of that team. He plays regardless. A role player doesn't get 48 minutes on a day-to-day basis. I've never heard of a role player getting 48 minutes on a night-to-night basis.
And Fabe, can I add one thing to your point before Derek?
No, you cannot. It's my turn.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Bro, not the clip over, bro.
Anyways, just because you're a starter don't mean you're not a role player. You play a role. Kyle Korver used to start in the NBA. His job on that all-star team with the Hawks was to shoot threes. He was a role player. He also played 38 minutes in games. He is a role player. You take away the other players and what do they bring to the table? What do they do?
Bro.
He's a role player.
Bro. How?
Kelly Oubre starts. Kelly Oubre starts, right? Is he a star on that team?
Yeah,
or does he play a role? Playing his role, right?
You're comparing
role players. Draymond Green.
Hey, we gotta be one at a time. This is Zoom. We can't talk over each other, guys. Just like y'all know.
Role player. A role player is a role player. Don't mean you're not good, but he plays a role. Last season when they didn't have nobody, what did he do?
Are you asking me, or are you like?
That was a question. I want to respond to that one. What did he do?
Okay, he didn't play as he played former season, but that's a
why. But why? Because the players were missing that may let him thrive and look good.
So do you like? How's that fair? So when Steph is losing because he has nobody, is he a role player then?
What?
When teams are losing and Steph has nobody, right? Like the Warriors
losing, but Steph got 30, 40 points. Steph doing his contribution. Steph doing what he's gonna do.
But he's losing. He's like I don't get like
Draymond without.
So are you
not doing anything? He wasn't getting assists. He wasn't getting.
Do you want Draymond to drop 40 a game? Is that what you're like? Is that what's qualifying him for him to be a star?
To be a star, he could be defensively. He could be a star. But you saying he's a star in the NBA? I just don't see it.
How is he not a star?
He's a star for his market. He's an emotional leader for his team. Yes, but he is not a all. He was an all-star. He did make an all-star game, but that was because of team success.
Therefore, he's a star.
No, he made all-star because of team success. Kyle Korver also is an all-star. We're gonna base it on team success. Jeff Teague, all-star.
Why are you comparing Kyle Korver to?
No, I'm giving you what a star in the league is. He's not that.
JB next.
All-star off of a team contribution. You're comparing that to Draymond. You're giving Jeff Teague.
He got it off a team contribution. That was the best team in the league, and he made the All-Star game.
But did Draymond make it off Curry and Clay, or he made it off his own contributions? Because Kyle Korver and Jeff Teague made it around the Hawks' #1 seed. Draymond
made it because he was on the team with Steph and Clay. Yes, that will get you in. Being on the top team in the conference will get you into a All-Star game. Yes.
JB. It's on JB now. Let JB go.
All right, bro. So first and foremost, a role player is a player that just has one singular role on the team. They don't do anything outside of that role but that role. Draymond has multiple roles on the team. He's an emotional leader. He's their defensive heart. He can also facilitate the offense. And I don't understand, like, the dude won Defensive Player of the Year how many times?
Exactly. And he brings the ball up too.
He brings the ball up. Y'all quantify it pisses me off with basketball because y'all only quantify success or value with scoring 40 points, and that's not all basketball is about. You have defenders.
The mind clapping when that's literally what he does.
Dennis Rodman.
And you cut me.
Hold on, I'm talking. Dennis Rodman.
Twice.
Yeah, I'm talking. Like you said, I'm talking. I ain't talking.
Draymond won it once. 2016.
Twice. I could definitely comment in.
Okay, but I'm talking though. But anyway, like I said, Dennis Rodman was a Hall of Famer, correct? He didn't drop 40. There's a lot of guys that have different things that they bring to the table. Draymond is a star. Whether you want to call him an all-star, he's a star. He's nowhere near a role player. Draymond is extremely valuable. So please stop being disrespectful.
I can actually call him what I want, and he's a role player to me.
You said CJ McCollum was a role player.
I feel you, bro.
So, I mean, how valuable
all right, we're going around the table. We're going John and Jace. John, it's on you. Then we could have the outright yelling like Congress.
Maybe Derek has extremely high expectations for his NBA teams as a general manager and think that if you have to score like 30 average tendencies. Like, I don't get – this man has been on 5 all-NBA defensive teams. This man has a 2007 Defensive Player of the Year. This man has 3 rings. This man has been to the All-Star game. Like, he brings the ball up. He rebounds. Last year, he had several games where he had at least 10 assists on a nobody squad. Several games. I count at least 6 or 7. So Draymond Green is an integral part of the Warriors' success. He is the reason why Stephen Curry is able to get most of the shots that Stephen Curry gets, literally because of screens, because of him bringing the ball up and them running a pick-and-roll action. He is so important to their offense and their defense. I just don't see how one person like that could be a role player. Because if you take him away, they are allowing more points per game. Steph Curry is not to get the same looks because no one really on that team knows how to give him screens like that. They're still young and they don't have bigs like that. So Draymond has to be more than a role player to the Warriors' success, not just this season, but every other season that we've looked at. Like, he's so important to their offense, their defense, their team chemistry. Anyone like that is not a role player. Like you said he's a vocal leader. What role player is a vocal leader? A role player is going to say, all right, guys, you're a role player. I'm not listening to you if you're a role player. But Draymond obviously has leadership qualities in him, which is why people listen to him. That makes him a star.
Jace,
so you're like Congress now? Can we just yelling?
Jace, it's on you. Then cut Carter.
Patrick Beverly's the emotional leader of the Clippers. Is he not a role player? Emotional leader automatically makes you a leader, right? So if you could be, so you just told me he wouldn't be an emotional leader if he wasn't that.
Bro, Draymond is literally teaching these young players.
No, I didn't say anything about IQ or anything basketball. I said he's a role player. You can be a role player and still have a high IQ. You can still have basketball intelligence.
He's a star, bro. He's a star.
You're comparing Draymond's 5 final runs appearances.
We're talking about emotional leader. We're not comparing. That's what I like to do. I like to pick stuff and go with it. I just say I compare emotional leaders. I didn't count rings.
No, I'm saying, so you're comparing somebody who's won championships and been at this level as an emotional leader to Patrick Beverly? Even to that extent.
Are they both not emotional leaders?
Because Draymond does more than
both not emotional
just an emotional leader.
Are they both not emotional leaders?
I see you're lost on this topic, so I can't argue with you.
All right, let's list some role players then, you guys, before we move on. Who are some role players?
Josh Richardson.
I remember when
Kevin
CJ McCollum was the role player.
CJ McCollum is no longer a role player. He's no longer a role player.
He's no longer
a role player. I'm talking about last year. I'm talking about he was a role player last year, but now.
Mute.
Are we naming some now?
Yeah, name some role players, because
Montrezl Harrell.
Okay.
Thomas Bryant.
6 man.
No, Montrez is not no role player. Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say Montrez is more like a 6-man type. He's
6-man,
important.
not a role.
Isn't a 6-man a role player?
Role player is
That
important.
is a role. Fair. That is a role.
I don't know. I feel where y'all coming from. I mean,
DJ
he's no Draymond.
Augustine. DJ Augustine is a role player. KCP is a role player.
Phillip Rivers is a role player.
Wait. Do y'all say our starters role players?
Yes, the starter could be a
You
role
can be a role
player.
player.
A role player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I'm just trying to find a clear cut definition.
No, Bruce, I want you to give your opinion on this.
My opinion on the definition of a role player.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. It's because role players. I feel because some role players can be stars. Like Lou Will is a star, but he's definitely a role player on that team. So I do label Draymond as a role player, but he's a star as well. What?
I just want because
role players can be stars.
To them, they're a star, and I think teams can have in-market stars. That's fine.
I don't think Draymond particularly. I get what y'all saying. I don't disagree.
And you could be an in-market star like John Collins. John Collins would never be a. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just saying, I agree with you. Yes, role players can be stars in some regards, definitely. But Draymond he's never to me a role player. Like, he's not going to come in and say, oh, like he didn't have an impactful game or okay, I can see him not having an impactful game, but I can't see him not trying.
Role player don't mean you're not impactful because he don't impact the stat sheet, but he does impact the game. I never said he didn't impact the game.
But he impacted more than a regular role player.
Equates you to being a star. I just named that they all are role players. The only star on that team to me is Steph Curry.
Bro,
and you got a prospect, in James Wiseman. That's what I'm saying.
If that's the case, everybody a role player.
Let me ask you a question.
No, Jay. It's a difference between being a role player and playing a role, and then you just flat out like.
Okay, good question. Right.
To me, when I say star, like a star or superstar, all-star, you got the green light.
That's offense.
He's not a scorer.
Right.
But some role players got to.
Game is not just score.
Somebody asked me, I can hear.
Oh, go ask your question, Fabe, then JB, you go.
Okay, so like to me, a star is someone no matter what team you put him on, he's gonna make an impact. Like I'm trying to how to right returns. No matter what team Draymond will go on, he's gonna make the same impact he does in the Warriors on any team he does.
Well,
you know what I'm
saying? You have to define impact though.
You believe he could do that?
Like no, you got to define impact though.
You believe that the Bulls drafted Draymond like they were supposed to?
Draft? You talking about draft? I'm talking about this.
No, well, he still has the same impact that he's having now. That's what I'm asking.
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
because you said you could put him anywhere and he could be that impactful. I'm saying if he was on the
Bulls, if you grab Draymond right now, he's gonna make either the same impact or a big impact on any team you put him on.
Bro, Draymond was a second-round pick. Draymond was a second-round pick, so nobody.
Wait, but he's saying, but wait, no. I just want to see the bigger difference. Like, my bad, John. I didn't mean to cut you off like that, but. Someone drafting someone, you said drafting Draymond. That's
no, I'm just saying
really
if he stayed with the team that originally picked him, which was the Bulls. You think?
Oh, like you saying like if he?
You said because I'm saying you said to you a star is a person that you can put on any team and they'll have the same impact or better. I don't feel that way about that.
But he's a star now because he developed at Golden State.
Right, you know what I'm saying? He's good in that system, which is why I said he's an in-market star and he plays his role in that system. But you cannot put him on any team and he'll have the same success. I disagree.
How? You don't think he can be defensive player of the year candidate anywhere he goes?
I see what they're saying now. I definitely see what you're saying now. Because Draymond getting all them assists and stuff like that, bro, if we're going to be 100% honest, it's from Clay and Curry, bro. He's giving the ball to Clay and Curry. They're going to make the shot 40% of the time, which is a high percentage. So,
bro, this
John,
is a new
question.
NBA,
John, good question.
Everybody shoot threes.
John, good question.
Yeah, but not that efficiency.
You got it, Fabe.
John, answer the question, right? You said Draymond had 10 assist games like 6 or 7 times last year, right? Without Clay or Steph?
Yes.
So, obviously, all his assists weren't from Steph and Clay.
One game he had 16 assists without Curry, without Clay.
So, that notion that he's getting all these assists because Steph and Clay is just got proven last year that it's not true.
I think you
can go, Jay. So.
JB, what's your
I was just saying. From what we were talking about, like just from stemming, because this is stemming from when what's it called said something about Andre Iguodala or something like that. That one year when Andre Iguodala made a big impact in finals and stuff like that. that same year, Draymond was doing his thing that he was doing now. But I was just saying, like, most of the stuff was, like, a lot of stuff stemmed from what Clay and Steph were doing, shooting the ball.
Oh, yeah. All. But Andre Iguodala is a role player because his role was to guard LeBron. That's the role.
Right. I think the fact of the matter is Curry and Clay are going to go down in history as two of the greatest shooters of all time in this sport. And because of that, and KD, and having them all on one team, Draymond is going to get the short end of the totem pole. Like, of course, he isn't going to get that much attention. Of course, we're not going to think, oh, he's not putting up KD, Clay, and Curry stats. Of course, he's a role player. But that's not the reality of it, bro. Those players are just that magnificent. They're that great. So Draymond understands. Like,
I think that has anything to do with it, though, because he's not that type of player. He would never score that many points. That's not him.
Wait, so are we giving? So
I think Draymond can score that many points. I think he'll score 25 a night. No,
I just Draymond's a superstar, right? A star, right?
20.
Draymond's a star, right?
He just don't want to.
I do not.
I'm not saying he will, but he will never try.
Draymond's a star, right?
He went 6 for 7. He went 6 for 7 from the 3-point line in the finals, right?
I think he's an in-market star, which a lot of teams had those. You got your star on your team. The fans love him.
Is a star able to lead his team to the playoffs? Maybe second round.
I wouldn't say making the playoffs don't make you a star. I feel like
because then Devin Booker's not a starter.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what?
No, you said based on that definition.
In terms of if making the playoffs made you a star, then Devin Booker wouldn't be a star. So I don't think and Bradley Beal wouldn't either.
I think
Bill's been in the playoffs.
Not since John Wall got hurt.
So real quick before we end this topic with Bruiser, I just want to point out that Kyrie is a 22 point per game scorer, and John just said he believes Draymond could average 25. Wow. Just want to give y'all.
John just got high hopes for him, but he not.
I think he averaged 15 to 17 points a game though. I think he
can. 15 or 17 if he took one look.
Not even.
I think
25 might be geeking for sure. 25 is definitely geeking.
Watch this. Jace, how many points did Draymond score on you?
He'll score 20,000 on your list. Like, what you talking about, bro?
God dang. You need a sensor butter with him, huh? I think this is similar to like when we had the superstar conversation on here. It's just hard to define. It's never going to be agreed upon just based on how you see things perspective. Because I do agree with Covenant, be like they're in-market stars like Rudy Gobert, but we might not
all like him. And he makes all-star games.
No, by the way, Rudy Gobert got paid the Supermax contract, which denotes you as kind of quote-unquote superstar. But if somebody bring up, oh yeah, Rudy Gobert is the best center in basketball, or he's a superstar, we'll laugh you out the building. So I do think in-market.
The most assists Draymond had last year was 12, not 16.
But that's like the Gordon Hayward effect, though. He was a star in Utah. As soon as he went to, you know what I'm saying? Of course, he got hurt.
I posted in the pack chat, John. You can look at it.
But as soon as he went to, the Celtics, but he's playing good now. But if he went to the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? He became a role player.
Who, Kimba?
No, I said Gordon Hayward.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He was in market star.
And he was a star in Utah. He was that guy in Utah.
And then he went there and he became a role player. Now, I mean, with Charlotte, I think he's an in-market star now.
Oh, he's playing better now. He's playing better now.
That's what I said. But when you go to, but see, that go back to what you said.
But one thing, I never said Gordon Hayward was that guy.
Yeah. Facts. Because that's like what's brother name that was on?
You can say Kemba too. Though.
Kevin Love is a perfect example. When he was with Timberwolves, star, in-market star, all-star, all that. Went to the Cavs, made a couple all-star games maybe because he played with LeBron and Kyrie. And the next thing you know, as soon as they dip,
Chris Bosh. Another example. Chris Bosh was the dude in Toronto.
Chris Bosh was an all-star without LeBron that 1 year. I think it was him and D-Wade. He was probably that last year. He played that last year.
That's our NBA takeaways topic. I think.
Well, let me do my one takeaway.
We on there, no.